We have a very lightly used Ford Transit 148 extended all-wheel drive. This is an RDV build that we did back in 2022. It was in Austin, Texas. I just flew out there and brought it back. We're helping the client sell it. She's had some life changes and she needs to move it pretty quickly. So she's a very motivated seller, which represents an opportunity for all of you. Come on a little closer and I'm gonna just share a little bit with you about this van. It was originally built for two Great Danes that were back and forth to a school for kids with disabilities. They were therapy dogs, and so that was being used on a daily basis to move them back and forth. It only has 11,000 miles on it, the van does, so when I say lightly used, it's very lightly used and it's pretty much as good as new. Because it was for Great Danes, there weren't actually fixed crates in here. So there's a lot of open space and a lot of modularity where you can sort of turn it into whatever you want, you know, working with us if you'd like to. So yeah, let me just show you around real quick. If you look up front here, you'll see this is about as nice as it gets in terms of Ford Transit finishes. You've got the leather chairs, you've got the big screen. They added this camera, which whenever the vehicle's on, it's always recording what's going on back here. Both these seats swivel. You have the JMG seats for kids. This is great. This is a great head start if you're looking to put together a build and you have kids, a family, or if you're regularly taking passengers. These seats are awesome. They are both FMVVS, whatever that highway approval is, and also DOT approved. So super safe, seat belts, the works. They recline. So anyhow, you got those. You have a little kitchenette here. You've got the Set Power AJ50 50-quart fridge freezer here. This 12-volt, super efficient. Pressure water, full-size IKEA stainless steel sink. This is just a door they put on here because those Great Danes were rowdy, so they get in here and start changing the lights and all. So anyhow, they just put this to cover it so they weren't switching them on and off and hitting breakers and things like that while they traveled around. Back here is a custom bed that we built with Sunbrella cover over it. And this is where the Danes would hang out. We had also at one point had retention in here and up here just to keep them from going forward. That's been removed. So I imagine most people who would take on this van would probably want to remove that. But just to show you, I mean, it's all open space back here that can be converted into whatever you want. Pretty much anything in this van is easily removable. You know, if you're, well, before I get into sort of how you could modify things, I'll just say I want to run through some of the things that this van has that are really high value things that give you a big head start on a build. One is the upper cabinets are all done. The obvious things, the kitchens, the seats, really nice, the fridge, freezer. This has got a really nice Victron battery bank. It's 400 amp hours, which runs the AC off battery power. Behind that battery system, you also have a Nation's second alternator, high output alternator, that anytime you're driving around or even idling, you're sending plenty of juice back to the batteries, sufficient to run this and also charge the batteries at the same time. So you really are completely off grid. And that battery bank is easily expandable if you wanted to add more capacity on the battery side. You also have shore power hookups, which is kind of standard. So who this van would be ideal for, there's a couple different categories. And I think the first automatically is anyone looking to transport, whether it be dogs or other animals, but animal transport. And I'm thinking of a couple clients we've had in the past who have, you know, they have a training business or they have a daycare business and they're shuttling anywhere from 5 to 10 dogs around, cleaned out and cleared out. You could put all sorts of different crate variations in here and move a lot of dogs. Or same idea, but we had a client who was transporting dogs up and down the East Coast. And you've probably seen the tour of that in the past, but anyhow, that sort of situation will be ideal for this, and it's just because of all the open space here that's available and how easily we could pluck things out of here and install crates. If we're talking about this van for, you know, a more typical client of ours, which is probably like 80% of our clients, we're talking about people who want to travel with their dogs in the van and stay in the van from time to time with their dogs or even for extended periods. And so really quickly, what we get into when we think about people in the vans, we almost, well, because we have people that want to have dogs with them, we almost always go directly to this scenario where the crates are under the bed platform in the back, the queen bed across the back. It makes sense in this van. It would be an easy switch. We just basically install our typical bed here. You do have wraparound windows in this van, so super cool 360 views if you're in cool locations, that kind of thing. You also have visibility for safety. There's tint on these windows, so it's very difficult to see in. You might see silhouettes if you have the lights on and get a little backlighting. But anyhow, we could very easily take this to our standard human and dogs traveling conversion by putting the queen bed platform across the back. Like I said, you could expand the battery bank a little bit to add a little bit more capacity, longer run time on the AC. You have the max fan up there. You have a rear opening window in the back, so you can kind of create that vortex of ventilation. Down here, you'd have space to put additional crates where we would. As I was saying before, if you have a family up to 2 kids, like this is great. If not, I would probably just remove these, cap the floor there. Then you've created all this space here up front to put crates here. You could put a bathroom here. This, with like I said, with very little modification and removal of things, would be open to sort of meeting just about any, as I run through the history of the builds that we've done in my mind, there's only maybe 2 or 3 out of 50 that I can think of that we couldn't make what is here work for pretty easily. And so, for anyone looking at, they're either they love our builds, but they're on a super tight budget, couldn't afford it. This van is going to represent an opportunity to save maybe around $20,000 as opposed to starting with a brand new van, and it only has 11,000 miles. So that's sort of your trade-off, is 11,000 miles on the vehicle for $20,000 rebate is the way I see it. So super good value. And yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. Give me a shout. The van is currently listed as is at $90,000. If you call me and you want to talk about different arrangements and if it's feasible for your build and cost and things like that, I'm happy to discuss it with you. Send me an email, tell me what you want to do, or give me a call and we'll just talk it over. So thanks, and that's it.